Hi everyone, my name is Shirley Davamar. I'm the artistic director of a Haitian dance company called Le Troupes Étoiles. We're based in Brooklyn. The company is comprised of drummers, dancers, and we do like folk dance and folk singing and traditional Haitian drumming. I'm here today to talk a little bit about my project that I did in 2016 called La Cunu, meaning our community, our community, our yard. And the project that I did was called, the name of the project was How Desensitized Are We? And I did it in a sense where I broke it up into 3 separate categories. In order for me, in order for me to decide on what issues I wanted to talk about, I formed a committee of people based in Brooklyn, Flatbush, people that I usually do work with in the community, people I usually dance with, people in the community that are activists. So I formed a committee to see what kind of issues in the Flatbush community that people, kind of issues we have in the Flatbush community that people are not really talking about and that matters to people. So the first one was health, beauty, and wellness. The second topic was about gentrification. And the third one was about black bodies, meaning everything that's going on in social media today, on TV, with the police, discrimination against black people. So we thought those were 3 important topics, 3 important issues we needed to bring to the community and talk about. Through the La Cunu residency, I was able to do this project. I did it at the Brooklyn Public Library on Flatbush in Linden. And it was broken up, like I said, into 3 different parts. So the first part was the health, beauty, and wellness, where I got local members and business owners and members in the community to come and display products about beauty and wellness. So it was, the first part of it was like a kind of like a fair type of thing where you can see an expo where you can see like people in the community and what their businesses and what they have in terms of natural beauty products. Like we had somebody come and do a makeup, like just come in, display their makeup line, which is like all made out of natural products. We had somebody come and talk about how important it is to detox. We had somebody come and do like a hair show with different types of natural hairstyles. And we had, what else we had? We had a whole, so long ago. Yeah. We had a panel discussion right after the expo. We had a panel discussion where we talk about what it is, what does beauty mean to you, and basically just talking about ways that beauty affects us and how we perceive beauty as black women and as women in general. And basically, but it was more informative because we did it to present to the community, especially to young teenagers, that beauty is not just makeup, and it's taking care of your skin as well, and it's not just putting on the makeup and thinking, oh, that's what beauty is about. So the project was basically, to bring to the community to talk about what we perceive as beautiful or being beautiful. The second part of the project was about gentrification. That part of the project was a little more on the informative side, finding a solution to what's happening in the community with gentrification. And I felt that for that project, it could have been a bigger turnout, mainly because I don't think that a lot of people know about gentrification, or even the word itself, gentrification, is such a big word. Like sometimes when you use big words, it kind of like, if you don't know what it means, it kind of like turns you off a little bit to the point where okay, where am I gonna come to a project? I don't even know what the word means. But even for myself, when I was doing the project, that was the first time I ever heard of the word gentrification. So to me, after doing my research and finding out what gentrification is and seeing how it's affected the Flatbush community, and not just the Flatbush community, Crown Heights as well, and Canarsie area as well, I felt that I needed to do more in terms of bringing this project to the community, that topic at least to the community. We had people from Equality for Flatbush come and talk. We had we had like a film about gentrification. We showed like a clip of the film about gentrification, and then we had a panel discussion where we actually talked about the film, and we talked about what's happening in the community and ways that we can help ourselves and inform ourselves on how to deal with that particular issue that's going on. The third one, part of the project, was about Black bodies. So that was like a more intense project where how people are reacting to everything that's happening in TV and around us with the police. So I felt that project was like more on the intense side of anything else, but people got a chance to talk about their feelings, how they feel about what's happening. We had Veronique do a healing. You want to talk a little bit about what you did for the
Sure.
part of the project?
Well, I was only a little part of
Yeah, just a little part.
of that section, but so a part of my work outside of being a community activist through arts approaches is also finding ways that we can use our bodies, whether you're a dancer, whether you're not a dancer, to access stories that are within you. And what do those stories actually look like, right? How do you communicate things that you may have not been able to say with your words or write down on paper? And so exploring through all of that stuff, we created, through a dance collective that I'm a part of and through my research as well, a sort of a dance technique and a workshopping technique that's not uncommon, right? Like it's also been used by other dancers in various different ways, but what I call it is healing in movement, la vie mio, which means better life in Creole. And essentially it's a strategic breakdown of dance movement that allows people to, one, introduce themselves to one particular type of dance movement, Haitian dance movement, identify the meaning of that, and then apply that for themselves to tell a story that's important to them. And most of the time what ends up happening in that workshop, as what happened at your event, is that people start to talk about things that were so deep down that they just start bawling, or but the more tangible goal is that everyone in there ends up leaving with a piece of choreography that they created together that was natural and that was authentic to themselves. And so we did a little bit of that with the focus of telling a story that is super exciting for you and juxtaposing that against a story that is super sad for you. What movement changes, what doesn't change, and how do you then, later on there was a panel, think about that in relation to the actual topic that we're talking about, right? Where your body and actualizing your whole self as a Black person, particularly as a Black person, is almost an act of violence for some people, but also is an act of like radical joy in a lot of ways.
That was one part of the project that we did, and after that we had a panel discussion where we had a couple of representatives in the Haitian community and established community as well come and talk about what does Black bodies mean. Black bodies can mean several things to several different people, and it's not just about everything that's happening in social media. It's not just everything that's happening with the police. It's everything in general that us Black people will go through in life in general. So that was the last part of the project that we did, and we had performances throughout all the projects, the first and the second and the third, just on each issue, a performance that kind of like talks about each of the issues that we were presenting for the project. So that being said, my goal I want to continue that project because that's not the first project I did in the community like this. I've been doing these projects since 2007. I want to further continue presenting projects like this in the community, things that we don't talk about, things that we should talk about, and things that are important that we don't really know where to go, how to, where can we find information on things that, or how can we just basically bring these issues and come together and talk as a community Because sometimes, we don't know if things are happening. We think that it's only happening to us. And so by me doing these projects, I want to tell people, like, this is not just only you, it's us as a community, and we can find solutions to these problems. And I want to continue further looking for grants to continue these projects, and maybe later on start a nonprofit organization around what I'm doing. Besides just dancing, me doing my dance thing. Does anybody have any questions so far about the projects, and any questions